Hello everybody, my name is Brianna Lizotte and I want to talk to you guys and share a little bit of my knowledge on the Metis fiddle. Now, the fiddle has been around for a very, very long time and of course comes from the classical music from the violin. And when the Europeans first came over for the fur trade and were voyageurs, they brought their music onto the canoes. Now, when a voyageur was hired, it was one musician and one really strong singer. Now, because of adding this music, it needed a purpose to be on this canoe. They needed to have that music on the canoes with them is because they needed to have everybody in time and in tempo with each other. That made it less likely that the canoe will flip over. Now, from the European side, not only do we take the instrument itself, but it's the melodies and the beats we also take. But from the First Nation side, it's the rhythms and the beats. So these unique styles coming together create something really new and exciting, because with the First Nations rhythms and beats and the European melodies, this creates and makes our melody a little bit crooked. Now what this means is every couple of measures a beat is either added or dropped, and this either adds, elongates a note or shortens it. And it's really funky to listen to. And it wasn't uncommon to have really big Métis families. They would, you know, if you were a musician, your kids probably would be like, hey, I want to try the fiddle. And especially back then when Métis families really couldn't afford European materials. So what they started to do was they made their own. These were called land fiddles. The wood, everything wooden you see on the fiddle here was made from maple or birch. Same with the bow. This hair here is actually from horse hair, and still to this day people use horsehair because it's just the best quality and gives the best quality of sound. Strings nowadays, they are steel strings, and these were only invented in 1910 and didn't really get popular until after World War II. So what they used before in the time of the fur trade and also way back in European history was sheep intestine. Now, sheep intestine just by itself, even though going through a process of making it playable, it would still have a very muted sound to it. Now, how they would fix that problem or try to make the sound quality a bit better was they would wrap the string with silver, and to color coat the string it would be silk. Now with these added materials, of course, silver and silk are very expensive, so this made the gut strings a lot more pricier. So Métis homes and Métis families started to use their own animals for their strings. So those are some really cool facts that I love to talk about when it comes to the history of the Métis fiddle.